Revelio. Welcome, wizards, witches, and no-mages. My name's David Syczylo, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to visit my channel, Wands and Reviews. Today, I'd like to take you back in time to the beginning of when America started with formalized magic by some settlers of the Plymouth settlement, before what would later result in the Salem witch trials. Chadwick Boot was the brother of Webster Boot. As children, they traveled with their family to the New World. Their parents were unfortunately killed by a hide-behind, a vicious nocturnal beast adept at both disguise and disemboweling, the result of accidental breeding between a demigod and a ghoul. The boys were adopted by Iseult Sayre and James Stewart, a no-mage who eventually married Iseult and had 2 girls with her. Iseult told them stories of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and the boys yearned to be able to return to Ireland so they could attend the school for themselves. But Iseult said no, and never told them the reason why they could not. The brothers instead were promised wands when they each turned 11 years old, and that they could make a school of magic at Ilvermorny. The idea of creating a school of magic in America caught Chadwick and Webster's imaginations, and they thought about how it should be based upon Hogwarts, with the 4 houses. But they thought naming the houses after themselves sounded ridiculous. So they decided to name them after magical beasts, and Chadwick came up with Thunderbird House. When Chadwick turned 11 years old, Iseult made good on her promise, and she and James made him a wand from prickly ash with a shard of horn from a horned serpent as its core. Webster and Chadwick were joined at the school that they created by 2 other families, although theirs was the only one that lived at Ilvermorny, and today I would like to share with you my interpretation of Chadwick Boot's wand, the first wand to be created in North America. Here is my non-official wand replica for Chadwick Boot. Made from prickly ash with a shard of serpent horn for its core, this wand measures in at 13.25 inches in total length. I took some artistic liberties as I based the wand on the only drawing for this wand. I gave the wand texture like the drawing by adding in cut-in lines. The light-colored shaft has a curve to it, and I let the lighter cut marks show through to resemble a prickly ash tree when cut. The handle is darker in coloration and is laced in jute, giving the wand a nice grippy surface to hold on to. When held, the wand is light, allowing for dramatic wand movements when casting spells. This being the first wand made in America, I am sure Chadwick Boot had a learning curve to master this wand. After I made a scale printout of this wand, I started by constructing the shaft. I cut sections of dowel rod and drilled holes in each section. I then pegged each section together and glued them. I then added glue to each joint and covered it with sawdust to adhere the sections permanently. I then gave the assembled shaft a sanding to start forming the shape. After shaping and sanding the shaft section, I sprayed it with gray primer to see where I had to still clean it up. After some more shaping and sanding, I took some artistic freedom and carved in the lines all along the shaft to resemble the drawing. I then started to create the handle of Chadwick Boot's wand. Using a large dowel rod, I cut a section to length and started to rough out the basic shape. As there is only a drawing to work off of, again I had to take some artistic liberties while shaping the handle. Like the shaft of the wand, I carved in some lines to resemble the drawing. I think this will make for a more interesting wand when finished, and it will not be plain and smooth. I then drilled some holes into the end of the shaft and into the handle of the wand and glued and pegged them together. I did a little more cleanup of the wand, but not too much, as I wanted it to look a little bit rough from age. I then gave the entire assembled wand a coat of brown primer. I was not happy with the pommel of the wand, so I decided to use some sculpting mix and correct it. When dry, I added in the carved lines and sanded the entire wand to finish it. I then gave the sanded wand a coat of spray slate gray, and after it dried, I gave the wand one more sanding so that it would be ready for painting. But then I decided to mark and carve in some guidelines for the jute that we placed on after painting. For the painting process, I layered on different colors to resemble a prickly ash tree. When the wand was dry, I sprayed it with a matte clear coat, and to finish up the wand, I added the jute string. I took some liberties when making this wand since it's based on a drawing, so I added in the lines just to make the wand stand out. It looks neat, but maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. I sometimes think I should have made the wand more simplistic and plain, but then when I think about it, I think that Iseult and James would have put some extra care and attention into the wand to make it special for Chadwick on his birthday. So what do you think of the wand that I created for Chadwick Boot? Let me know in the comments section below. I really hope you've enjoyed my interpretation for this wand. If you did, please do me a favor by clicking on that thumbs up button, and while you're here, if you haven't already done so, why not subscribe to my channel today? I really do appreciate it, as each and every like and new subscriber keeps me motivated to keep sharing with you, and you can help me out by sharing this video with your family and all of your friends. Thank you, and please have a most wonderful day.